Good evening and welcome. I'm Kevin Metzger and this is Metzger Business 5 on AI, May 31st, 2023. In today's episode, we'll cover one topic, tree of thoughts. So, the tree of thoughts, or TOT, is a theory about how to ask a question or design a prompt of a generative language model such as chatGPT. Basically, the idea is to ask the language model to answer the question in a way where it generates and considers the implication of multiple solutions. The researchers actually tested the theory and found statistically significant improvement in problem solving when asking the AI to solve problems using this method. There are a few things to understand about asking a generative language model a question. If you ask it to just give an answer to a question, it will do okay. If you ask it to explain the steps, it will generally give a better answer, and that's called chain of thought prompting. Basically, ask a question and ask it to explain the steps it took to get to the answer. The tree of thought prompt outperforms the other methods by almost 70% when tested in some gaming scenarios. So, all this theory, if you're a nerd, is kind of cool. But practically, how do you prompt an AI to use this type of reasoning? And the first video I watched on Tree of Thoughts was by All About AI, and you can see the link in the notes below. In the video by Chris, he used multiple prompts to get ChatGPT to come up with the multiple solutions and recursively process through them. But I really wanted to find a solution or a prompt, basically, that asked for the solution from the generative model in a single step. And I found a good one on GitHub, and I've got the link for that down in the solution, down in the notes as well. And for those of you that code, you should really check out the repository or the Discord of the GitHub discussion. But for the rest of us, it's based on a prompt that goes something. Three experts with exceptional logical thinking skills are collaboratively answering a question using a tree of thoughts method. Each expert will share their thought process in detail, taking into account the previous thoughts of others and admitting any errors. They will iteratively refine and expand upon each other's ideas, giving credit where it's due. The process continues until a conclusive answer is found. Organize the entire process in a markdown table. The question is, and then you ask a question. And I decided to ask, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And let's go through the answer because it's kind of interesting in a couple of different ways. The question you're asking is a classic tongue twister and rhetorical question with no definitive answer in reality. So it starts out actually giving us this answer even before going through the process. However, as you're interested in seeing a fun and logical conversation between three experts on this topic, here's a playful take on this in a markdown table format. We've got this pretty neat answer, basically. Chucking, the first thought is that chucking wood is a metaphor. Then they start to iterate, and on the iterations, yes, you're right, I hadn't considered the difference in density between soil and wood. If we take the average density of wood, we could make a more accurate estimate. However, we should remember that the 700 pounds is the high end for burrow construction, and daily chucking may be significantly less, which is kind of humorous. This is purely hypothetical, as woodchucks do not actually chuck wood in their natural behavior. So then they come into their final thoughts, and we explore this question well, considering soil density. Agree both experts, the question was more a test of our creativity than our expertise in the field. It was an amusing exercise, and it's safe to conclude that while woodchucks could theoretically chuck an impressive amount of wood, in reality, they're quite content just chucking soil. So, cute answer to this question. We're out of time today, and I actually want to continue this discussion with a couple other thoughts on how to better prompt and also take a look at Bard. Hope you enjoyed it. That's today's 5 on AI. I hope you enjoy this content. If you did, like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please note all content is produced by Kevin Metzger in collaboration with AI.